Canada pushed to abandon trade talks with Brazil over Amazon deforestation.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ottawa. The federal government is being urged to halt trade talks with Brazil after another summer of record-breaking fires in the Amazon rainforest. Greenpeace Canada campaign manager Reykjavik said Canada needs to pull out of trade talks with Mercosur too. A year ago Canada resisted such calls, saying diversifying its trade partners was critical and that any deal would include environmental protections. 6 rounds of talks took place between March 2018 and June 2019, but no talks have occurred since then, said Ryan Nearing, Press Secretary for International Trade Minister Mary Ng. Canada is firmly committed to the principle that trade liberalization and environmental protection should be mutually supportive, he said in a written statement. Brazil is the world's biggest exporter of beef, though its meat exports to Canada are limited. In 2018, about $30 million of beef was imported into Canada from Brazil, compared with more than $3 billion in beef exported from Brazil to China. Fick said Greenpeace would spend Saturday, a global day of action to protect rainforests, reaching out to multiple Canadian leaders pushing them to back away from further trade with Brazil.
This post received a score of 7,000, with an upvote ratio of 98%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
LMAO Reykjavik. She sounds like the capital of Iceland.
Her parents must have been aiming for the pun, there's no way they didn't do that on purpose.
If you think that Brazil is fucked, it is worse. Trust me.
Brazil wants to do its best impression of Venezuela.
Meanwhile, Canada is in the process of cutting down our last old-growth forests on Vancouver Island.
Turns out trade liberalization and environmental regulation are mutually exclusive.
Or you can do it the way America does it. The U.S. Forest Service manages vast swaths of land that alternate, taking turns between cut and growth. I was unaware of this. Interesting. So certain forests can be cut, then allowed to regenerate. Yes, and they even do it in literal checkerboard patterns like resource tiles in a video game. Here's an example. That is genius. And super interesting. Thanks for sharing.
It still leads to significant habitat fragmentation, unfortunately. In many cases the work is contracted out to a private company, and in many cases the work is indiscriminate of forest ecology. I'm not saying forestry is bad. I work in that field. A square is easy to quantity and measure, but practically no system in nature works on a grid.
Not gonna happen. Only thing that will save the planet etc. is if governments can make money out of it. Otherwise they really don't care. Eco-awareness and our demise from our mismanagement of resources and pollution isn't exactly new, and every year it just gets worse and nothing really changes.
Come on Canada, lead by example.
6 rounds of talks took place between March 2018 and June 2019, but no talks have occurred since then, said Ryan Nearing, Press Secretary for International Trade Minister Mary Ng. Canada is firmly committed to the principle that trade liberalization and environmental protection should be mutually supportive, he said in a written statement. Isn't this Canada saying they won't continue talks until the appropriate environmental protections have been established?
Come on Reddit commenters, read the article.
It's Reddit, not read it. I'm just here for you, shitty morph stories.
The world needs to chip in to help the Amazon.
Isn't Amazon tax exempt already?
Canada has 7% of the world's renewable fresh water supply and 20% of the world's fresh water. We are allowing that to be consumed and polluted for profit at an alarming rate. The Alberta tar sands are an absolutely horrific polluter and is devastating the ecology. Maybe Canada should look at home while they are at it.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.